Our screen control panel HMI, and what it has is it has a status screen that's going to tell you what mode you're in for each system. So you have a bar screen 1, you have a screw pactor 1, a bar screen 2, and a screw pactor 2. It's going to tell you whether it's running or if it's faulted or if it's off. It displays the runtime, and right now you're displaying that it's going to run for 1 minute, has 38 seconds left on it. Remaining time out of the 30 minutes is 29 and 38 seconds. It's going to tell you your differential level, and your turn on point is your 10 inches, and right now it's at 4.69 inches. This is just a little status for the exercise mode, tells you what percentage you're at of completion. Now these are all selectable, so you click on bar screen 1, and what that's going to do is it's going to give you the status of each switch. So it's going to tell you if your system is on or off. It's going to tell you whether you're in local, off, or remote. It's going to tell you if you're in forward or reverse. Also, it's going to give you a running, off, or fault status. And it's also going to give you the mode. It's going to tell you if it's an exercise, differential, or shuttle. Right now it's not ready because I don't have anything on. Exercise mode, it's going to tell you the duration that you have it set for. It's going to tell you your minutes. It's going to also tell you remaining time. So basically that gives you everything on the status page, right where your system is. So the next thing is your differential mode. It's going to tell you your set point, and it's going to tell you what you're at. So going into set points, we have set point setup in exercise mode. Basically what it does is it's going to give you a runtime set point, and you're going to be able to edit it. So right down here is your min and max value. So you get 1 to 10 minutes for runtime. Same thing with the duration set point. You could set it 30 minutes to 240 minutes for the duration time. Differential mode, and differential mode, you only have one setting that you have to set, and that's basically the turn on point, and that's between 2 and 18 inches right now. Your stop level is at 1. That's not editable. You can't click it or anything. So your shuttle mode, what that's going to do is just basically tell you in the system we have 4 cycle times. It's going to turn on, turn off 4 times. And the runtime set point is going to be for 3 seconds. So it's gonna shuttle, turn on, turn off. Your history is going to basically give you everything about the bar screen, the total number of starts, the total number of faults, and the total number of times the system has jammed. Now if we return, we can actually see the screw pactor. Now we're going to go into screw pactor, and the screw pactor, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to tell you whether the system's on or off. It's going to tell you if it's in local, off, or remote. It's going to give you a forward, off, or reverse status. Another thing that they're going to do is they're going to give you a run, off, or fault. The difference between bar screen and the exercise mode, the screw pactor mode, is exercise mode will actually have an extended run time. So it's the bar screen run time plus the screw pactor run time. So you can actually make the screw pactor run longer than the bar screen. It also has your wash on cycle and your wash off cycle. Same with the flush on, flush off cycle, and they're in seconds. So now if we go to the set point for your screw pactor 1 runtime, right now I have an extended runtime of 0. I can run that up to 180 seconds longer than the bar screen. So I'm just going to keep it at 0. Now my wash cycle is selectable. You could set it from 0 to 600 seconds. Right now I have it just for 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off. Same with the flush cycle, 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off. As the bar screen, every one of these systems have a start, a number of faults, and a number of jams. If we return, I'm going to show you guys the main menu, and it's this button right here on the side. It says menu. Once you click it, basically this allows you to get to different areas. So if I click bar screen, it's going to show you the bar screen setup. Click back, it's going to give you the menu. So on this menu, it's going to tell you the date, the time, the PLC status. It's going to be green if it's online. It's going to be red if it's offline, and it'll flash. Remote setting is if you have a wireless connection, you can actually tap in, actually see everything on this screen that's displayed here. You can actually control it. Easy for startup. It's going to tell you your upstream 1 value in inches, your downstream 1 in inches. So that basically tells you whether you're running a correct analog signal or not. So right now these are flashing because I don't have any analog signals connected to it. So that's why they're flashing. These ones are stable because we do have analog signal connected to it. Another thing is this system has a customer supplied conveyor belt system, which we're going to supply them on the screen. We're going to show them the same thing as the bar screen and the screw pactor, and that's basically the system on off, whether it's in local, off, or remote, and if it's running or not. It's going to give you the display of the grit system, and that's just going to give you a running or off status. Tells you the history and the number of times it's started and the number of times it is faulted. Now if you go into settings from the main menu, what you're going to see is you're going to see the date, the time, whether your battery for your HMI screen is good, the model for calling up tech support, and they need that, the bootloader and the software version that we use. Also tells you the IP address of the touch screen. It tells you the net mask and online, just in case you guys wanted to do like a SCADA system and tap in. Now there's 8 settings up here, and what that's going to do is it's going to give you the status of the PLC input. So this is slot 0 input, and what it's going to do is it's going to tell you if it's on. So if the bit is enabled, it's going to tell you on. If it's not enabled, it's going to be an off. So this is just for testing purposes only. And once you go through all of them, you're actually going to see all the statuses of inputs and outputs. You actually see the counts. This is for calibrating your analog signal, and for both analog 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now date and time. If it was a more advanced system, you'd be able to take and sync your HMI team screen with the PLC screen, and you'd actually be able to do time intervals, whether you want it on during the week or not. Redline communication setup, and basically this is where you're going to set up the HMI IP address, subnet mask, and the PLC IP address. Analog setup. Now this is analog setup, and this is to actually set it up for engineering units. So right now I see my raw signal is 12,478 raw, and that's outputting a value of 5 inches. Simple setup. When you come in to do the startup, all you'll do is basically you'll hook a 4 milliamp signal up to the analog input card. Right now it's upstream 1 setup. So you hit 4 milliamp signal on there, and then you hit OK. Then you'll take and tune it to a 20 milliamp signal, and then you'll push OK. If you don't have anything on site, you can actually just push default, and what it's going to do is give you a default value until you can get something. And then you're going to click here, and basically this is your inches. So from the ground up, you're going to measure, and you're going to say, this is my max range for the pit. So right now it's set for 20. So at 20 milliamps, it's going to be 20 inches. At 4 milliamps, it's going to be 0 inches.